Inside the Drag Closet with Jade. Join Jade, DeVere, and her fabulous team of guests as they discuss all things drag, from wigs to makeup to performances and everything in between.
Join us at WLFE-DV.com for upcoming shows and more.
Well, hello there, kids. Welcome to Inside the Drag Closet, the show where we talk about all things drag and some things that aren't. Who knows? We're really just here to have a good time. We have such an amazing show tonight. I am a little bit beside myself with excitement. We have Winnie and Trampolina from the Kinsey Six here. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. The Kinsey Six is America's favorite Dragapella Beautyshop quartet. Two of their members have agreed to join us this evening, so get those questions ready. It's going to be a fun time. I am joined by my special guest co-host for this week, the lovely Miss Katie. You may recognize her from the New Jersey Renaissance Fair, where she plays the Duchess of Northumberland. But we always start with three specific questions, and those questions are who, what, and where. Who am I? My name is Jade DeVere. I am a drag performer based out of Central Pennsylvania. I've been performing for over 10 years. What am I wearing? Lovely little polka dot number. I can't see my feet right now because, you know, I've got a lot of personality. Wonderful bit of deep purple hair that I styled myself. And, of course, jewelry from Rocks by Cox. Lolly, please sponsor my show. And where can you find me? You can find me every Wednesday right here on Inside the Drag Closet on WLFE-DB Radio at our new time, 8:30 p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we already have a couple comments. Fantastic. From Derek Gamble Ernst. This is going to be awesome. That's my fantastic husband. I love him so much. We have Vicky Marie Thompson saying hey, and Robin Thompson. Good evening, lovely ladies. You know what? I love it when twins work together and both enjoy my show and are already on board with Rocks by Cox. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for tonight. Now, usually on Inside the Drag Closet, we do say we don't talk politics. Too bad, kids. We're going to go there tonight. It's going to be fun. You're going to have a good time, and it's going to get a little bit wild. But I would like to bring out my beautiful co-host for the evening. You know her and love her. Put your hands together for Miss Katie.
Darling.
Jade.
Mwah.
Mwah. So give us a little who, what, where.
Who am I? Well, I am Katie Bourbon. What am I wearing? I am wearing a delightfully ill-made gown that I treated myself to with part of my stimulus because, I don't know, I thought there was going to be more of it. I went shopping back in, 30 years ago when all this started. And I got this on a website, and this is the first time I'm wearing it, and it matches my blanket. I'm very coordinated this evening. Also, I tried something new with the hair. I've always wanted to do Liberty rolls, and tonight was the night, so this is my first attempt at Liberty rolls. Where can you find me? I just started a YouTube channel. Every Tuesday, you can find me on YouTube. Katie, Your Good Lady Duchess. Your Good Lady Duchess being one word. So it's Katie, Your Good Lady Duchess. Every Tuesday, I put up videos. They don't go over like 25 minutes. I try to keep them between like 15 and 25 minutes. And we make stuff. And by we, I mean me. I mean like the Duchessly we. Crafty stuff and a bunch of nonsense. And this week is probably going to be mostly me talking about Halloween costumes.
I mean,
we
are right there. I do love that you wore like all of the pearls tonight.
All of the pearls, honey. Well, a small fraction of my pearl collection, but yes, just fill up the space with pearls.
Exactly. I wanted to thank you for stepping in this evening. Tonight is going to be Miss Fancy's night, but she has been otherwise detained, and you, like a champ, were just like, game on, bring it in.
When I tell you anytime, I mean anytime, dear.
That's accurate. That's on her OnlyFans.
It is.
Girl, are you ready for tonight?
Can anyone be ready for tonight? I am pumped.
I am too. I can't wait to get into things. And usually we chat longer. I don't care. I want to bring them out. I want to have a good time. Alrighty, kids. Now, our special guests this evening are from the Kinsey Six. I have gotten to see them perform before. If you have not seen them perform live, hopefully sometime in the next 5 years when we're allowed to go outside our houses, get tickets, go see them. Tonight, we are going to be graced with two of them, and their names are Winnie and Trampolina. Yay!
Trampy, dear. Trampy, turn around, honey. Turn around, bright eyes. There you go.
Oh, there it
Hi.
is. There it is. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you both for joining us this evening.
Oh, thank you for having us. This is
Yeah, it's just so exciting.
Good. Do you want to, Winnie, why don't you give us a little who, what, where?
well. Who? Sure, I'd be happy to. So my name is Winnie, and I sing bass in the Kinsey Six. I'm also vegetarian and usually single. I currently am sequestered in Illinois during the pandemic. It's fall now. And what? Oh, I am wearing a custom bodice that is sparkly and exciting, made by our costumer for the Kinsey Six, Mr. Todd Barnes. And then some fantastic jewelry I happened to find at my parents' house, and a little wrap thing. So that's what I'm wearing, and it's very excited to be here. Thank you. Oh, and what was the where you can find me?
Yeah. Where can we find you?
Oh, well, you can find a lot about me on our website at kinsey6.com. And that's where we are for now. There it is right there. Otherwise I'm stuck in an undisclosed location in Illinois for the time being.
That's fair. How about you, Trampolina? A little who, what, where?
Okay. Who? It was Colonel Mustard with the lead pipe. Where? In the kitchen. I don't know. I played a lot of board games in quarantine, and playing Clue by yourself is not as fun as you would think. I strangely always lose, but I'm coming to you from Kansas City right now. This is what Kansas City always looks like, a two-dimensional black hole with a nice pink rim. And let's see, what else? At Kinsey Six is the best way to find us. You can find us on that website. That's where you can find everything. Or at Kinsey Six on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook /Kinsey Six.
Fantastic. I am so excited, and I know it has been such a weird year. What
do you mean by that?
Well, the weird year in general.
Yes.
You know, there's this thing that happened this year. Not a lot of people are talking about it, but you know, there was this global pandemic, and kind of came out of nowhere. Nobody knows when it started or where it started. So yeah, how's everybody been passing the time? How about you, Trampolina?
Actually, I've been doing a lot of video editing for the group. Once we realized we weren't going to be going anywhere together, the four of us, because we all live in different places around the country, I came up with a parody for a song that I pitched to the group. And I said, look, this is totally something we've never done before, but if we can all record our vocals separately and shoot videos individually, I can splice it together and we have something to put out there. Well, it went off well enough that we've been now just producing music videos for the better part of the year.
Amazing.
Fantastic. Do you mind if I play one of those right now?
Not
Better
at
now than
all.
never.
We were chatting about it, and one of my favorite songs that you have put together is a wonderful parody of Let It Go. So let's all enjoy that, shall we?
Everything's all right if you're right wing and white, not a problem to be seen. But a kingdom is not our nation. Donald, take it from a queen. COVID was howling while you plotted your landslide. Could have kept it out if you'd only tried. Don't clue us in, don't let us see. Be the con man you always have to. Still don't feel, don't let us go. Well, how can we know? Let it go, let it go. Cause the stock market mattered more. You let it grow. Folks said, whoa, so you amped up your race war. You don't care long as others pay. Let the plague rage on. A cold never bothered you anyway. Your is blurry, your self-serving has no bounds. But hey, why worry? We'll drink Clorox cocktails by the round. You're stuck race baiting, so we'll try to make this fast. Trump Airlines wants you back. Your ass is in our past. So just go, let us go. And take all your demons, stop the show. And just go, grab your white hood and be gone. You're going down on election day. Let your hate rage Your soul never bothered you anyway.
That is incredible. And you did all of that while apart,
In
correct?
4 different locations scattered across this continent. Yes.
East Coast to West Coast.
Yeah, literally,
Amazing.
actually.
That is so, it boggles my mind. Like, I just put together a podcast, and trying to organize that has been like pulling teeth. I couldn't even imagine 4-part harmony in 4 different time zones. Like, what has been the hardest part about putting all of this together? I'll throw that to Winnie.
The hardest part is it really makes you have to rely upon your own, talents and training. We're all trained musicians and actors, and to take our part and then sing it is one thing. We're accustomed to listening to each other, to balancing with one another, playing off one another within songs. There's this sparkle, there's this energy. So having to recreate that in our minds has probably been the hardest part to do. And to do that sort of in a vacuum individually is it's hard. It's a different it's a different part of the brain. And we have to be our own, sound engineer and lighting technician and, film director too. So it's like, once we get all this tech stuff done, it's like, oh, I get to do the thing that I'm actually good at and then do it. Rather than like, oh, was the lighting right? Oh, the entire take was wrong. What was that noise? Someone's running the washer, and the whole thing's ruined. So it's that's probably the hardest part of doing it. And I think everybody can relate to, being isolated from other people. And we're so accustomed to working together, and it's it's hard to do, and we try to recreate that as much as we can, and this is sort of simulates that, but it's what we can do, you know.
I have to say you did it masterfully. Like, I wouldn't have known. Like, that was so well done. And so
Thank you.
You ladies are always like super professional, but with that sense of fun and lightheartedness that just makes me happy.
Well, we have to be. I mean, we sing a lot of naughty things, and we sing about some charged topics, and with a very unique point of view. And frankly, we would not be able to get away with half of the things we do if, you know, we sort of schlocked it together. That is why this is, for me, it's an honor just to perform with these gals and to be able to do that and on stage, and then being able to adapt this to our current medium. It's a whole bunch of other skill sets that are coming to play. Trampolina has done a wonderful job beefing up video skills, and Trixie is doing a lot of our mixing of our sound and making us sound good from like 4 different quality, you know, situations. Like we're not in recording studios. We're in 4 different sort of DIY makeshift thrown together, you know, blankets on the windows and mattresses against the wall. And that's not for the recording. The mattress is just against the wall. And she makes it sound so good. And it's incredible to see these talents, you know, come out and sort of rise to the occasion, more importantly. And I don't think I say that enough to the girls. So it's nice to see.
I think it's just a testament to the individual talent as well. I mean, to keep tempo and pitch and it all blends in so beautifully. I mean, you know, you to throw Ren Fairs under the bus, you walk around there and they have singing groups. They're standing right next to each other. And it's like, oh, honey, are you not listening to each other? You should listen to each other and then adjust accordingly.
We have those issues too. That might be the one thing. That might be the one thing that I've, you know, being isolated and away from the girls and recording the parts. Very few times have we had to re-record completely, because the vibe or the energy, it wasn't connecting the way it should. And I think it was maybe with a couple of the songs that we were doing back in the spring, but Trixie, who does all of the arranging and issues the
there she is,
guidelines. Yeah, she issues the guidelines for how we record and what kind of, you know, different volumes and different things to do in different parts of the music. So then she ends up mixing it all together, and I'm always thrilled when we have a couple songs that will be coming out that haven't made their debut yet, and I was very nervous about how they would turn out. And when we heard the first draft of them, I was like, oh, this is delightful. Everybody sounds great. It sounds like a song we've been singing on stage for years, and it hasn't. And, you know, speaking about, you know, singing live, you know, there depending on venues and what the room is like and what the sound is like, there are times when I know that we are not, you know, the 4 of us are not connecting in the way that we should. So this has been a nice way of honing our musical skills even further.
That's incredible. And you did so much more than just, you know, a couple videos. You have an entire album coming out now.
What, we do?
That's what I've heard.
Look at that.
Really? Oh boy, yes we do.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Oh my God, would I? Yes, we just announced it today. It's going to be released on the 27th. It's called Quarantunes. And there's the gorgeous cover designed by Trampolina. Look at that gorgeous. Just take that in. Take all of that in. Oh, there's little Easter eggs in there that people won't know yet because there's videos that we have not released that relate to this. But don't worry, kids. It'll be out soon. It's called Quarantunes. There's 16 tracks. All the stuff we've made throughout the pandemic, a bunch of other songs that we have not put on albums yet. Before there's more information there. You can pre-order it now, and then you'll get able to download it and keep everything all yourself. It's very exciting, and it's we couldn't be more excited about it. It would be the 10th studio-ish album that we've put together. And this is the second album that I've done with the group, and it's a completely different experience, obviously. But it's remarkable what we've been able to pull off. And the idea for the album was Trampolina's. And we're like, oh, okay, maybe we could. And then as we got going, it was fun revisiting a lot of this music and maybe relearning some of it. In my case, some of the parts. Oh, I didn't know I was singing that. That's what's on the score. How about that? So it was fun. It was a lot of fun to revisit, and I can't wait for people to hear the whole thing when it comes out.
A lot of the songs are songs that came out with the music videos that we've released this year, and then there are a bunch of songs from the show we were touring last year, Naked Drag Queens Singing, and a lot of those songs had never been recorded before as well. So it was really cool to put them all into this album. It's good stuff. And all the music is written, the lyrics are by our chief writer, Ben Schatz, who originated the role of Rachel and is a original founder of the group.
Look at that mug. There she is.
That's her happy.
Oh, I know she does. It's especially happy that there.
And after we did our first video, Ben was then inspired to keep writing stuff for us throughout this process. So he's remarkable on these parodies. Like some of them, the lyrics are just woof. And that's another fun challenge for us as a group, is to be sure that we are really selling the song and giving it the weight that the lyrics deserve, because some of those songs are drive-by lyrics, and if you got to listen to them several times before you go, oh, I completely missed this dig. I was enjoying the sound so much.
Right.
They're pretty effective. There's silly stuff, but there's very good heavy material as well. Yeah, commentary. Yeah.
Yes.
We already have a couple people commenting. They just pre-ordered theirs. I pre-ordered mine this afternoon.
Bless your heart.
We did.
I'm seeing comments now. I didn't even have that open earlier.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Oh yeah, you can see all the comments. There was one comment here. It's actually a question, so I'm going to throw it to you gals. From David Warden: why only 2 of the 4 Kinseys?
Mind your business, David. We're busy. Trixie's mixing stuff.
Trixie is actually working on the album.
Yeah.
And I think originally she was going to do this interview. I've been busy doing video editing on the other 2 other videos that we have that will be coming out over the next month. So it's despite us not being on tour, we are very, very busy at our homes.
And I normally do like a lot of our bookings. I've started taking over, managing our books and stuff. And I'd love to have more to do. So when we get back to doing bookings, or give us more money so I can count it, and buy our damned album. Thanks. So I'm happy to make stupid appearances all over the place. And really, I mean, 2 is plenty. 2 Kinsey Sixes on video is really enough. We're a lot. I mean, look,
yeah.
I need a nap already. So, I mean, if you like, I mean, really, I wouldn't want to overwhelm Jade. After heard these stupid cats. Oh,
I'm used to it.
That's why there's 2 of us.
I told Winnie earlier today, I'm like, I'm totally fangirling and I'm trying to look calm and collected. I'm totally not. I'm like, oh my God. But I'm so happy. But speaking of the Kinsey 6 and why only 2, I wanted to talk about something interesting. You actually have a new sister.
We do.
Yeah, let's talk about Angel for a minute.
Let's talk about Angel. I have so much to say about her.
I love
Look at that.
picture.
So fishy.
She had so many good ones to pick from, but I was like, this is the one.
That is a good one.
So like passable. Like is that Giselle? That could be
Angel.
Giselle.
Angel's a new character. Replaces the character of Rachel. That's played by Ben Schatz. Ben may have retired from touring, but he is holding on to Rachel for dear life while he offends and harasses people with his writings. Angel is played by a wonderful new actor to our group named JB McClendon. He's based on the East Coast, actually. A lot of fun, and he has such a large presence. It's so much fun to play with. Rachel was very short, and JB is very tall. And Angel's the most unboundaried character of the group, and in normal times we just sit on people. I don't know what we're gonna do with that when we return to performing with people. I don't know how we can socially distantly sit on people, but we'll figure something out. And Angel is a riot. Angel is a truck driver with a bow on her head. She's a lot of fun and a real hoot.
And we just started working with her last year in Provincetown last summer, and then we did our usual seasonal winter stint in Puerto Vallarta, where we opened Electile Dysfunction in January, and that was the show we were going to be touring this year. So we actually haven't gotten to work a lot with Angel, but we've worked with her more during this pandemic than we have on stage, I think, at this point. And
to Angel's credit too. So we were doing the math. We've really only worked on stage with Angel about 6 months, but in that 6 months, we've actually done 3 different shows. So, so Angel has really done a lot of work with us, and I wish we were doing more, and we will eventually be able to do so. So yeah. And Angel's also on the album on Quarantunes as well. So it's Angel's first album with the group, which is very exciting for us too.
I'm sure I probably had the same reaction as everybody else when I saw, oh, her name's Angel. She's not going to be Rachel. And then I saw pictures of Angel and Rachel together, and I was like, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah, Angel is Rachel's twin sister that was born 10 years later.
Yeah.
She stayed in the womb a little bit longer.
Sometimes you have to marinate a little longer.
Yeah.
There's a horror movie about that.
True. It's like Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
It is.
Yeah.
We don't know who's who, though.
Exactly. The sizes, too. That's absolutely what that is.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully with Provincetown, last year I went there for my first time. My husband worked out a quick little trip up there. We were there for like 2 days. I remember we got there and I was like, you know what? This place is a little gay.
A little.
Well, I was overwhelmed. I was just kind of like, because I'm central Pennsylvania, I was just like, this is okay. I was like, we're going to sit and have dinner because Miss Jade's a little overwhelmed right now. And I remember,
you see any shows while you were there?
We had tickets to see Ben de la Creme. And I remember walking along and I remember seeing you ladies hawking your show. And I was like, God damn it. We should have gotten tickets. And then we had tickets for whale watching.
Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was on our list of next summer when we go. Here we are.
Well, we would have been there.
Exactly.
I make the same noises as the whale. When I sing really low, it sounds like a whale sometimes. Yeah. And in Provincetown, people were thoroughly confused.
Although I have to say, like, one thing that, like, the fact that you were out front hawking your show just added a level of just joy to the entire experience, because I was like, so many of these younger drag performers I see, they're just like, hi, I put on all this stuff. I need $200 per gig. And I'm like, what? Go out there and work. Like, get yourself an audience. Like that.
Yeah, it's in those areas, like Provincetown, Puerto Vallarta. It pays to, you know, to work the streets and, you know, word of mouth, get the shows, to busk and, you know, sing to people so they know what you do. I say desperation only loosely, but because it can be a little demoralizing. Like people just, you know, have had it, especially in Provincetown where it's so packed. There's so many acts. We've done the fringes too, Edinburgh and Adelaide Fringe, and it's like, oh, come on, people. And it's, you got to remind yourself what you're doing, why you're doing it, and it does put butts in seats. We wouldn't do it if it didn't. And it's fun to, you know, to have a little FaceTime with people out in the streets, and you know whether they like it or not. And,
That's true.
yeah, and it's weird. Like, you know, we can sing and show people what we do. It's I can't imagine other queens who, it's like, what sets you apart from anybody else? You know, we're a group. We're the only group of our kind. I mean, it's great. It'd be unbearable. I have a lot of respect for the queens who go out there by themselves. To do that without the other three girls would just be, it'd be atrocious. Who would I boss around? So, you know, so.
Well, and you also sing, like so many drag acts now. While a lot of queens now have music, you sing live and in 4-part harmony. Like that's such an art form that I used to be able to do, and I really need to go see a vocal coach again. But like,
I'll give you my number.
Okay, perfect.
Listen,
Illinois.
I mean, not everyone loves the barbershop quartet sound.
Do they?
I think
mean,
if that were
I
true,
so I just assume everyone else does. Like, there's just something you hear that sound, you're like, am I at Disney? Am I like, what year is it? This is awesome. And just like, you know, like live, of course, live theater is always, but like just that a cappella sound, and it's just like it's just wild, and it's definitely a lost art, or a losing art. I don't know. You don't see it a lot.
You don't. You know, it's funny. Speaking of quarantunes, I was thinking, you know, Trampy, there's a lot of arrangements in this new batch of stuff where Trixie has really gone to town on playing with a lot of the barbershoppy harmonies that we have that I don't think she's had the free reign to do before. We have a cover of Tomorrow from Annie, and there's this gorgeous double modulation that happens with the group, and it's crazy. It is just crazy what we do with it. And
I don't know what that word means because I don't know stuff
it
about
means you
music.
change keys twice within a short period of time with lots of harmonies intertwining.
And I've heard the song. I've listened to that song yesterday.
So check it out.
You do a double modulation, like you sure do.
And,
it's around the moment where it goes into color in the video.
Yeah, it's so much fun to do too. So I mean, if people, I know I say, you know, do people really like, you know, barbershop? I hope more people do. It sounds incredible. People kind of, it's like, wow, how do you get those harmonies together? And there's some amazing moments throughout a lot of the newer songs that we have that I hope can, you know.
Yeah. The first one that
on.
we did, the one that I came up with that came to my mind was the parody of From a Distance. That was the first song we did. It was at the end of March. And I had an idea in one moment where we sing the lyrics in 4-part harmony. And I think I had mentioned to Trixie, I said, I totally envision, you know, you just giving us that traditional quartet sound. And she went with it that moment. And then even at the end of that song, which, you know, From a Distance is such a hokey early 90s Bette Midler ballad that is, associated with that time. Well, I love the song. I've sang it many times for many things.
She has.
Winnie knows I was hired specifically to sing From a Distance for an event. So when the song came to me, I thought, oh, I wonder if this could be done in pretty much anything can be done in 4-part harmony. even Cardi B.
For the people watching at home, I know there are 4 of us, and I know we keep saying 4-part harmony. Abandon any hope of that happening. You want to hear that loveliness? You will get Quarantunes.
Go to kinsey6.com. All the 4-part harmony you could. No!
All the 4-part
You can
harmony
take
you
your finger
can
out.
stomach. But the 4 of us, it ain't happening. I look like this and I'm funny. I can't sing.
Well, no one's perfect.
True.
There
Well,
are many people that can't sing that still do. So,
Oh, I mean, I like to sing. When I sing, I am definitely the person in the room that is enjoying it the most. All right, I'll give you a note. Work
You're
around that.
gorgeous. You're hired.
there you go.
Stand there, be pretty. Well, kids, we're going to take a quick commercial break. I'm already
Got time.
The ladies are going to all go pee, and
Talked
we
about
will
it.
be back in just a couple minutes, and then we are going to be answering some questions and talking a little bit about the history of the Kinsey Six.
Oh boy.
See you soon.
Yay!
WLFE-DB.com, where our shows are your shows.
Welcome back, everyone. We are having a fantastic show again. If you were staying in for all of the commercials we just had, don't worry. I will be getting a new commercial to my producer soon. Yes, the show will continue to be aired at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We just haven't had a chance to update it because we have a lot of little stuff going on. We'll get it. I swear we're going to get it. We hope everyone's liking the new 8:30 time slot. We have a lot of people watching. I'm very excited. I see a lot of love being sent to the Kinsey Six. That's fantastic. I adore them as well. Just going through a bunch of the questions. We got a lot of huzzahs for Katie from our lovely fans at the New Jersey Renaissance Fair. We got a lot of questions for the Kinsey Six. I'm excited to get to those. I've been working on some questions for them as well. I think it's going to be fun. I don't want to put them on the spot or call them out. So, but I still have some fun stuff planned. I'm going to bring back my lovely co-host for the evening. That is Miss Katie. Katie, are you having fun?
I'm having so much fun, and I'm so glad to see so many comments. Because I was kind of wondering, I'm like, did Jade just ask me back on so I stopped blowing up all of the comments? And I love that it's at 8:30 because, like, Yeah, like sometimes I couldn't stay up for the 10:30 show, so I'd watch it the next day and still blow up the comments. Like it's not live. Like there's like probably people getting notifications. Like what? Who comment? That was last time. Who is she? Why? Okay, that's funny. But what's going on? But yeah, so I love the new time slot. I love all the commentators. And I'm still going to blow you up when I'm not on, of course, because that's what I do.
Perfect.
You don't have
I
to
haven't
wait for
been
your turn to
blown up
talk
in
to
months.
type it in.
Well, if anybody out there has any questions or comments about Inside the Drag Closet, you can always send me an email at insidethedragcloset@gmail.com. We have some fantastic stuff coming up. Next week, we are having Scarlet Overkill's birthday bash.
Love her.
Spooky Halloween birthday party. So I don't even know who's on the show yet. I let her handle it. I'm like, girl, have fun. I trust you. Mostly. So, but tonight is not about you or me. Tonight is about our special guests. So let's bring them back. We are going to bring back Winnie and Trampolina from the Kinsey Six. Uh-oh.
Oh no, where'd she go?
Oh no.
Oh, sorry. I've been sitting on my toilet the whole time. I just finished peeing.
Oh, great.
Terrific. That's nice.
When did I have asparagus?
Right? I hate when that happens. The smell is just everywhere.
I can
Pee
smell it
doesn't
here.
smell good though. Everyone's like, oh, asparagus makes your pee smell weird. I'm like, pee already smells weird. It's pee. In my opinion.
Well, not always.
There might be something wrong with me.
See a
Is it
doctor.
supposed to taste sweet?
So anyway, we have some
So,
questions.
yes.
Wow. This got a little weird.
Let's get weird.
Game on. So yeah, there is a lot of love for you ladies going on. Just like I'd go through them all, but every single comment is just, we love you. We love the Kinsey Six.
Oh, we love us too. Thank you, everybody.
From Rob, did you capture a partner to shelter in place with?
Hi, Rob.
What kind of
No,
partner, I
certainly
guess?
didn't. I'm sequestered with my family in Illinois, actually. And so
Your problem with that was partner. My problem with that is capture.
well, sometimes that's how you got to do it, sister. Consensually, of course.
Yes.
So, and surprisingly, it's been difficult finding somebody who wants to be sequestered here with me in the woods. So,
And that was also true before the pandemic.
yes. Yes.
Life finds a way, though. Don't give up hope.
Although Trampolina, I'm amazed you managed to find a picture of me before the pandemic for your background.
To find a what? What'd you
You
say?
found a picture of me before the pandemic that was used for your background.
Oh.
Well, that's great.
So needless to say, no, Rob, I don't. And I hope your beard is doing fabulous. And by your beard, I mean your beard, not your.
Not me.
We do have a fabulous comment here from Tesla Taliaferro. Kinsey Six, thank you so much for your political activism within the community. It is so refreshing to see outspoken members of our community standing up and speaking out in a really creative way.
Thank you, Tesla.
You know, thank you. That actually is kind of how the group came to be. The Kinsey Six, when they started, Ben and Erwin, original members, who are Ben, who still writes, Erwin retired, and then Winnie, that you're seeing now, joined. They were lawyers, and they got dressed up in drag and went to outings together.
There they
There's
are.
one. That's a great one. That's a great one.
See,
And,
Winnie was a bearded queen originally, before bearded queens were a thing. It was very punk. It's very exciting.
Yeah. And
I
so
can't grow a beard to save my life.
as lawyers, you know, Ben did a lot of work during the Clinton administration, fighting for during the AIDS crisis, doing a lot of work for people that were, trying to keep their houses and trying to get them the care that they needed and not be fired. Yeah. And everything like that. So the group kind of stemmed from a lot of activism for gay rights at the time. And it still continues to be to this day. We use our platform in that regard, and we do it in a very comical way and a way that, this music, but with music. And it's much easier to be able to process a lot of what's going on in an entertaining format like we do.
One of my favorite quotes that has always stuck with me was spoken by Erwin in the I Want to Be a Republican video under the credits. And it was, "The king will take critique from the jester better than the advisor."
Yeah.
And I think that's so true. And I quote that I misquote that all the time, actually. Get it close, but not quite.
In the area of misquoting, and I'm going to botch this, so Ben, forgive me. Ben quotes that he used to sue his adversaries. Now it's much easier to make people laugh than it is to sue them, and make them think, and hopefully enact some change that way. And it is a powerful thing, and it's an amazing legacy to carry on, because none of us are attorneys. I certainly like to pretend I am sometimes, but that's what the founders were. That's what they were doing. It was the natural outpouring of their activism, and it was escape for them in many ways. And in many ways, the drag can be for a lot of people. And for those of us who come from a theater background, it's who have an interest and a passion for activism and social justice, that to find a niche group like this that does all of that is quite an amazing thing, and it's an exciting legacy to carry on.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that legacy. I kind of want to do a little walk through memory lane. The Kinseys of the past.
It might be some of our memories. It might be somebody else's memories too. But we'll help wherever we can.
Well, and that's the fun thing. I wanted to get to the question, but I almost want to ask now. What was it like stepping into these characters, having them already kind of like, for example, Trampolina? You became Trampolina after the fantastic Chris Dilley played the character. What was that like, and what did you keep or change from the previous iteration of the character?
That is a fabulous question. I had seen the DVD of the group, I Want to Be a Republican, available for purchase as well. Yes. I had seen that about 2 years prior, before I auditioned for the group. And when I saw that concert, I thought, wow, this was my first introduction to the group. I thought, wow, they're fantastic. They're so funny. I would love to be in a group like that. Oh, but if they're a quartet, they're set, and then it was 2 years later, they were auditioning for a swing role, and come to find out that Chris was retiring out of the group for a lot of opportunities in New York. And so I hadn't really seen, I had listened to the recordings, but I hadn't really seen performances of Chris as Trampolina. So I think that there is a way that I kind of I prefer that, because I don't want to try to completely copy the character that he gave of Trampolina, but I wanted to certainly keep the essence of Trampolina. And I got a lot of that when I was working with the group through Ben and Erwin, the original Winnie and Rachel, who had also, before Chris Dilley was Trampolina, there was Vaselina, played by Jerry Friedman. And Ben has even told me often that a lot of the choices I make as Trampolina remind him of what Jerry would do with the character of Vaselina. So I kind of like that. I think that what I've done with the character is bring kind of elements of everybody else that's played it before me. and I have a great time with it. I know I was a nervous wreck the first few shows I did with the group, and the first performance I did with the group in San Francisco, it was our holiday show, Oy Vey in a Manger, and it was at the Herbst Theater, and that to me was the big time, because that's where the group started. All of the fans were going to be there. They all wanted to see who this new person was trying to pull off Trampolina. And I remember I flubbed up a lyric in one of the songs, and I was like, my heart just fell out of my butt. And I was like, this is it. I'm done for. But the other girls rallied, and they pulled together this bit that we then had a whole improv moment out of it, and it was hysterical, and it was spontaneous, and it was one of the things that reminds me of why I like this type of theater so much, because we have the script, we are the creators of the content, and we have the freedom to break from it, and break that fourth wall, and even drop the character if we have to. So I've really enjoyed getting to play Trampolina, and I've been doing it now for 12 years, and I'm 25.
You take very good care of yourself.
If I've done the math right on my abacus.
How about you, Winnie?
Well, I joined the group 6 years ago now, and I took over from Erwin Keller, who originated the role of Winnie and founded the group. And there she is, such a riot,
in front of the City Hall.
In front of City Hall in San Francisco. Yeah, that's part of the War Memorial Complex there. And what's so bizarre is that Erwin and I have a remarkable amount in common. We're both vegetarian. We're both from Illinois. We're both Jewish. He's a little more Jewish than I am. He's a rabbi. I just have Jewish lineage, and harvest a lot from that. And we're both Trekkies, and we're both polyglots. He is a far better linguist than I am. He studied it. I just sort of dabble in it. And we're the same dress size and shoe size. And it's crazy. And when I first did a makeup test with the group, Trixie took a picture of me and sent it to him. And he shared it with his family. And it was uncanny how much, we look alike. And he was so gracious in sharing this role with me. It was a very unique situation. Unlike, Rachel and Angel, Erwin, can be Winnie and I can be Winnie. Makes perfect sense to me. I mean, we both watch Star Trek. There can be multiple versions of the same type of person. Live long and prosper, baby. One of us is from the mirror universe. I don't know who. So,
Which was the evil one?
So we've been on stage a couple of times. My first show, I was debuted. It was Erwin's farewell show, and they debuted me. And the audience was so welcoming and so loving. And the group has sort of let me, take the overlapping parts in that Venn diagram and sort of play with them, but also let me take on the role in my own unique, snarky way. So it's been fun taking on that role, and Erwin has been gracious to share Winnie with me, and I love sharing the role with him. And it's whenever we perform at his congregation in Northern California, and he'll don his Winnie garb and out Winnie me, and it's a fucking hoot. It's a riot to have him sing with the group, and he'll whip out his clarinet, which I don't play. It's the one big difference between us. So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's while I was looking through everyone's pictures, acting like a complete stalker, I found fantastic pictures of both Winnies together.
Yes.
And one picture I know I've seen, but I could not find, was a random performance with Trampolina and Chris Dilley as Trixie.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So there was a gig. It was it was somewhere around the East Coast, I believe, and Jeff, who plays Trixie, was unable. He had some prior commitment when this gig came up, and there was no way he could make it happen. And we didn't want to turn down the gig, so we reached out to Chris, who can pick up music like that, and he stepped in to fill in as the role of Trixie for that weekend. And it was really wild because he got to do the song, one of my favorite Trampolina songs, called Be a Slut. And it's a very fabulous sex positive gospel number. And he's doing it in this, they've done a makeshift stage in a in a gymnasium at this college that we're doing it for. And he's doing the song, and I'm singing the backup vocals with Winnie and Rachel. And it's like, I'm having this out of body experience, feeling like I'm watching myself, but it's Chris, and it's the first time I've actually gotten to experience Chris in the Kinsey Six. So it was wild. It was a mind fuck, is what it was.
I bet.
So that brings up a question I wanted to ask, and something I'm curious to find out. If you were not the Kinsey you are now, which Kinsey would you want to be?
Oh. I do like this question.
This is fun because, yeah, this question has been asked before, but I don't know if I've ever actually answered it. Because I feel like I could do Trixie, I feel, pretty easily, but I think Winnie is one that I would have fun if I got to be Winnie. I don't know if I could do Rachel or Angel. I can go there, but I don't think it would be as endearing as Angel and Rachel make the role to be, because you can't just, they're like forces, and you have to still have that lovable quality. And I can only be lovable for so long.
Yeah. I hear you there, kid. Trampolina is probably my favorite character. But I don't know if I could play the character. I love Rachel and Angel. I think like Trampolina, there's a lovability that makes that character so challenging. And I've had to learn that with Winnie too. I mean, I sort of went into it with as a snarky school marm, and really leaned into that a lot when I first started with the group. But finding those vulnerable moments was a fun acting challenge for moi. But that being said, Trixie would be a fucking hoot to play, and I think it'd be a riot to do. The repertoire. Thing about Trixie and Winnie is there's not a whole lot of solos for the two characters, and Trixie and I bitch about this a lot, and so I would be in the same boat, but it's just different solos that Trixie has, and so yeah, you do what you can. Fortunately, Trixie and I, our voices are very, very nice together, and they swap out pretty well. She sings very, very high, but to be able to do that, you have to have a good low part to your voice. And a good falsetto extension, which sounds dirtier than it is. We could swap parts pretty easily. But I mean, there's stuff that she can do. I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. So.
Yeah, she sings very high. I have a high.
You sing high too. Belt. Like you have atmospheric notes without falsetto.
Yeah, and I can do some light yodeling, but which I don't think we've had. I don't think we've had that in a song yet.
No,
a Kinsey song, but
that needs to happen though.
Well, that's our next project.
The yodeling track.
Because if barbershop was for everybody, adding yodeling certainly is.
Yeah,
exactly.
Niche sells these days.
I know.
Or niche sells these days.
Katie, did you have any other questions?
Oh God.
Guys.
I think you guys are amazing. I do not understand music, so anyone that can write a song and write music and then put it in harmony with three other people. Like, I don't.
Well, that still blows my mind. I mean, I'm trained as an interpreter of music. I don't really write music per se. I get music and I know the structure and can analyze it. But yeah, I mean, even writing and, making harmonies, like, yeah, I get that. But like the stuff that Trixie can do with harmonies and arranging, it just blows my mind. What a musician she is. And
yeah, I think people that even know and understand still find it I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
When there's a new song that we've got that'll be on the album that won't be. We're gonna have a music video for it, but it's probably going to be in about a month or so that will come out. The parody is fantastic, and the song itself is a very strange song musically. It's like several songs combined in one. So when Trixie made the arrangement for this and we did it, it blows my mind. It's actually my favorite track on the new album, and I can't tell you what it is.
I mean, the album's
Can we say what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't know if we could say.
Yeah.
Did we release the track list? I have no idea.
The track list, yes.
What
the track
day
list
is
is
it?
on the website.
Oh, okay. So it's a parody of the Beach Boys' "Good Vibrations," and it's called "Good Ventilation." And it's the silliest song. I think it's one of the silliest songs on the new album. But if you know that Beach Boys song, it's kind of all over the place musically. And if you can try to even think of that as a 4-part harmony a cappella song, it's wild. And the arrangement that Jeff did is really fun.
There's some magic that happens in that song. I can't wait for folks to hear it. It's a trip. Musically, it's crazy. It's the craziest thing that the Beach Boys did, and most ambitious thing that they did musically. There's no pop song really like it.
It comes in with like the bot bot bot, and then it's almost like a wall of like.
It is a wall. There's a literal tape slice. There's a literal tape slice in the recording, and then we're in a totally different atmosphere. The tonality's wacky. It's a mini symphony.
Hopefully, you guys won't lose your minds like some people in the Beach Boys.
Well, but there's a lot less drugs in our group.
There's still time.
Yeah, give us time.
There's a couple great questions in here.
There are, yeah.
I'm seeing some, and I would love to get to a few.
You can take them or not. Some of these people ask us these questions all the time.
Oh, it's my show now? All right. Well,
Derek has a couple questions. He asked. Go ahead.
The one question I really liked, and Derek is my husband, by the way.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
In real life.
But I love this question because this is about one of my favorite Kinsey 6 songs. Not to bring down the mood, but with Rachel no longer performing with the group, is Jerry's song still being performed, or did Ben take it with him?
Well,
we actually talked about that.
Yeah. And for folks who don't know, Jerry's song is a beautiful song. You can find it on a couple of our albums. We've recorded with a couple of. We performed with we have an arrangement we've done with some big, large gay men's choruses as well. And it was a tribute to one of the original founders, Jerry Friedman, who played Vaselina, mentioned earlier, who was one of Ben's best friends. And it's a tribute that Ben wrote to him when Jerry passed away. So it's a great song that we've had in the repertoire for a long time. But we're gonna say, Trampy?
Oh yeah, but we made the very conscious decision that we would not really do that song unless Rachel was back for a special performance where it was required. The song itself is gorgeous and can live on its own, but the fact that it is called Jerry's song and that attachment to that person is from Ben, that is his to have and to hold. So it's unlikely we will be doing that song. I don't want to say we won't do it ever again, but it's very unlikely it would happen anytime soon.
And every time you see it performed by Ben, it's just, you can tell how visceral it is for him. And it's a love song and it's a goodbye song. And it's just, if it doesn't move you, there's something wrong.
Yeah. It's a beautiful piece. And I think it's it's good to treat it with the reverence that it deserves. And that's okay being, part of its own time and part of its own place, and connected to the people who are connected to it. And that's fine. I mean, there's more stories, we can tell, and that will always be a beautiful piece in the group's repertoire. And we have at least one recording of it, I think, on the albums.
Two.
We have two
that I'm aware of. I know there's one, one with the gay men's chorus, and one, I think it's on "I Want to Be a Republican."
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
It is.
Jade is our new discographer and dramaturg. And historian.
Although I'm pretty good at knowing what songs are on which albums.
That's
pretty
right,
good at that.
You're great at those.
When we're doing shows in person, and after the show we are hawking our wares to people, and they're asking what album a song is on. I can usually just be like, it's that one. Because we have nine. We have 9. Well, now going to be 10. It's a lot of albums, and it's a lot of songs.
And they're all good.
Well,
there's some songs they retired for good reason. I mean,
that's a conversation that could go all night.
Yeah,
there are songs.
This group. I mean, the current iteration, the current cast, probably is not going to be Jerry's song because there's context to it. But there's a lot of songs that we just won't do anymore because we retired them. Locked out of the Chapel,
or they're thankfully not relevant.
They're not relevant. Locked Out of the Chapel of Love was one about gay marriage. Although given where the current Supreme Court's going, we may have to bring that song back. It is
knock on wood for you.
It is strange. There's a lot of songs that are in our show, I Want to Be a Republican. I mean, Electile Dysfunction, that were written for I Want to Be a Republican, over 12 years ago, and including the title song, I Want to Be a Republican, that are even more true today than they were when Ben first wrote them. So it's a strange thing to keep these songs in repertoire and, bringing them back.
We do have a fun question here. This is from, I'm going to say it, Mitchell Weiner. I hope that's accurate. Question: is there a dream role outside of the Kinsey Six you want to do?
Huh.
Mine is Bertha in Pippin.
Yeah, I was going to say, so like a musical, right? Probably.
Up to you.
I can't think of how else I would dream role.
And Arthur Miller, you got your eye on. I mean, say that.
I would love to do a Jerry Herman musical. I haven't really gotten. I went to the American Musical and Dramatic Academy in New York City, and after I graduated, I started working in the cabaret scene, and that's what led me to coming across the Kinsey Six. So I didn't have a lot of time after college to get into many shows. I did a few, but a lot of them were campy parodies of shows, like an all-male cast of Stephen King's Carrie, and ridiculous, over-the-top stuff like that. So, in terms of musical theater that people know, I mean, I would love to do like a Jerry Herman musical, one of his better ones. Mame. Actually, I did do La Cage. I did a production of La Cage shortly after college, but I was in the ensemble. It would be great to have a bigger. I don't know if I could pull off Alban at some point. I think he's the one that sings "I Am What I Am." I can't remember.
Maybe in like 15 years.
Yeah. When I'm 35.
Exactly.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
How about you, Winnie?
Gosh, it's a tough question. Because we kind of trained to do anything. And I guess the one role I've always wanted to do, I did before I joined the Kinsey Six, and that was Hedwig and the Angry Inch. There's no tequila here. And Trampolina, that'd be a fun one for you.
Yeah,
you gotta go.
That would be fun.
That takes a little
Well,
maturity.
I have a
Let's
friend.
be honest.
There's a production of it that happens here with one of my really good friends from New York. So he's kind of solidified his stature with that role here, and I think I could do it, but it's not at the top of my to-do list. I love the music.
Go to Junction City and do it there.
Yeah, I've done a couple of the songs for some of my other cabaret sets and stuff, though.
That show has the only song I really perform in drag. I love singing The Origin of Love live.
It's a beautiful song.
Okay.
It's right in my range, too.
Yeah. Oh, good. It's a great song, Jade. I mean...
Yeah.
And Wig in the Box is the only song I've performed in drag.
How about that?
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Miss
That's a fun
Manhattan
one,
Grace
too,
had her
because
one
there's
night.
a sing-along, and everyone loves a sing-along.
Exactly.
And the song Sugar Daddy in that is the closest I'll ever have to an actual sugar daddy.
True.
Actually, was watching that the other night too.
Yes.
That
you
is
know,
so
there's a
relatable.
song in the movie that's not done, that was written for the movie called "In Your Arms Tonight." At the production I did in San Francisco, we did it, and it's a gorgeous. It's a gorgeous song. I think they casted a music video of it. It was a very unique production in that we had all the other characters that Hedwig talks about were realized. So Tommy Gnosis, Luther, Mom, and there were 8 different Hedwig archetypes that were in the production. And the one I did was the John Cameron, the classic Hedwig. So I think doing the whole show would be a great thing to do at some point when I'm
It'd
old
be a
enough.
challenge.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say?
Parody
It'd
some
be
of
a
the Hedwig
challenge. That's a
songs.
long show.
It is. It's a one-person show with, it's Hedwig and Yitzhak and the band, and you got to tell the whole story. It's a tour de force of a role. Yeah, I've seen John Cameron Mitchell do it, and Neil Patrick Harrison Ford do it, and Darren Criss do it. Darren Criss actually did a pretty good job. Bless his heart.
We have some.
There's
more
a question about, has any artist ever been upset with the use of their songs? I love that question. I can't say for myself. I don't know prior to my joining the group if there were. My hunch is there may have been one or two, and I feel like there was one. I feel like there was one that involved a Broadway composer, but I don't want to speak out of turn and be wrong on that. I do know that there have been some artists that do know of our parodies of their songs. One of them, the person who wrote the song, I'm trying to think of the original name of the song and not the parody we do. The parody is the original song is "Never Been to Me." I've been to paradise, never been to me. So that the author of that song has seen that parody and thought it was hysterical. Absolutely loved it.
I didn't know that. That's hysterical. That's a great song.
And we did. I think this was before you joined as Winnie. We did a private gig for a birthday party in up in the mountains in Colorado, and we were the first act while people were having their dinner, and then there was a concert, like an hour-long concert by Art Garfunkel. So we opened for Art Garfunkel for this very swanky, well-to-do party. And it was very funny to me. I don't think any of us talked to him because he was very much, leave me alone. But we have a parody. We have 2 parodies now of Simon and Garfunkel. We have our new one that came out this year, The Sound of Sirens, which is beautiful. But there's a very messed up parody we have on our Each Hit and I album. That's a parody of Cecilia called Necrophilia.
Oh.
I used to sing that in my
one of those
car.
songs that it's so outrageous.
I'll be listening to that later.
That album probably has some of the off the rails songs.
That was my first album with the group, and they wanted to record a lot of the stuff that never made it onto albums over the years, and that was a song that was a deep pull. So I never
That
performed
one.
it with the group, but we recorded a bunch of stuff that had never gotten
There's the
captured.
Michael Jackson one that's on that.
Timely.
Britney Spears,
Britney
Beyonce,
Spears.
Katy Perry,
Right. That's a
Amy
Winnie.
Winehouse.
Yeah.
Just stay away from Coolio and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
For those who didn't hear the name of the album, it is right there. Feel free to say it out loud right now.
It and I.
Now say it faster. All right. That was
To your friends.
Yep. Tell
Your
everybody
fans
about
have
it.
filthy mouths.
Yeah, that's a fun CD to order if for those of you who like CDs, because there's secret hidden messages all over the album cover, and it comes with its own decoder glasses.
That's the only reason I got the name of it.
And there's no upcharge for the glasses, you cheapskates.
Where can we find this?
At kinsey6.com/music.
And we have all of our albums available.
Music. Cool.
Yes, look at that, Trampolina. Ooh, merchandise.
Those look
Yeah.
amazing. Who are you
They
shipping those to?
They sound even better.
You,
Oh, yeah.
babe, I'm shipping them to you.
We did get a fantastic comment going back to the parody of I've been to paradise, but I've never been to me. True story. I was performing in a drag show. This is a comment from my husband. That was the song Jade met my mother to.
Wow.
The parody or the original song?
The Kinsey Six
our
parody. And I had never met my mother-in-law before that, and I did big dark hair, not realizing she has big dark hair. I look like her as I am lip syncing to I've been through parasites, but I've never had VD.
I think the important question is, how did Derek feel about this look of yours?
He didn't tell me shit. I'm greeting the audience before the show, and I'm like, that lady looks familiar. He's like, hey, this is my mom. And I'm like, she's meeting her first? Great.
No, I mean, how did you think
You
about
might
the
as well
look
rip the
on
Band-Aid
you?
off, sister. I mean,
true.
It's a weird thing that the weird times we live in. People used to avoid dating drag queens. It used to be a liability, and now it's a distraction. Like, I don't tell people I do drag when I'm interested, because it's a distraction, and they just want to talk about drag and drag race and so I tell people I'm a consultant until I know I can trust them.
We actually haven't really talked about drag.
I've never been rejected for being a drag queen, so.
Well, yeah, that is an interesting thing. There is a question about it that we can get to in a minute, but how has the reception been, or more accurately, how has the geography of the drag world changed now that Drag Race is such a popular thing, seeing as how you're such a different medium from that?
It's a very different medium.
Yeah, it's helpful, and it's interesting because some people, I think it gives them a certain perception of what they're going to get. We'll get some people like the tourist places we go to, like Provincetown, and there are a lot of drag race performers like Ben de la Creme and Jinx Monsoon, who are very fabulous in the cabaret scene.
Fantastic
as well.
performers.
But there are certain people that will think that they're going to get a drag race kind of event, and then they're sorely disappointed when they find out that it's 4-part a cappella harmony that's very politically scathing. And they're like, I wanted to have fun. Well, honey, fun is different. Fun is a matter of, what's fun for somebody might not be fun for somebody else. Yeah. So and there are times that people go, wow, that wasn't what I expected at all. That was fantastic. That was blew my mind. So I think it's increased a lot of visibility for drag performers in other outlets of entertainment. Those of us that would not be on Drag Race, I think it's certainly given us a certain amount of exposure, both good and bad.
Yeah, I mean, it makes people into armchair experts on drag, and or they think they are. And they think that all of drag is what they see on Drag Race, bless their hearts. But it's just a sliver of what drag actually is. And these are, a lot of people who have been doing drag for a long time. And there's a whole big movement. And I think that you may find this a lot with, with your show, Jade, in that, a lot of local drag queens who are doing incredible work and they're working so hard and doing inventive stuff. They're sort of treated like chopped liver, when a drag race queen comes in and is able to shake down the venues for a bunch, and people are like, sure, take my money, blah, blah, blah. And that's fine. I'm so glad that so many people love drag and people are willing to pay for it. But the world of drag is so wide and so vast, and there's so much to it, that for anything, let yourself see what else is out there. And don't let like that be your one thing. And that's a weird thing to say, because we being in drag are sort of we're one degree separated from pretty much everybody who's ever been on Drag Race. So that's also part of our community, and we want to see them succeed as well as everybody else who we don't know of yet, who are working just as hard as everyone else. So it's a double-edged sword, I think, with any kind of greater visibility of what used to be a niche type market.
It's an art form, and
it is an art form.
You really want to go to all of the wings of the museum. Like, I love the beautiful serving face with the snaps and I can't really do the mouth.
And the death drops and
the splits. But I also love me a Tupperware lady in a muumuu.
Yeah, yes. Who can tell the shit out of that Tupperware?
Dixie Longate. Isn't Dixie Longate
yeah,
a Tupperware
Dixie
girl?
Longate. Great website. Wish I had her touring schedule.
Yeah.
Like it's all kinds of, ladies like writing their own music and singing their own music, and that's amazing. And then there's just, and the next one is lip syncing to Iggy Azalea. I don't know if I said that right, but variety. I love them all. I prefer when they make their own personalities. Like I'm not as wild about the illusions shows where it's like, oh, she really looks like Shania Twain. I'm like, cool, it's neat, but then they're like, now we have Bendina Dover, and I'm like, yeah.
That's the names.
Yeah.
And there's so much in drag too. Frankly, I think that roller derby is an extension of drag too, but people just don't know it yet.
Accurate. Oh my God.
There's more drag names in roller derby than there ever have been on Drag Race.
Oh, that's yeah.
There's a roller derby out here in Lancaster County, and it's all like parodies of like Mennonite and Amish references, and I'm like, that's amazing.
You couldn't play that anywhere else.
Nope.
And it's great. That's gold. My father's mother's from Bethlehem, in that area.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, if you're ever in the area, let me know.
We've been in the area a lot. We've been in Lancaster a lot, believe it or not.
Well, next time you're here, let me know. I'll pick you up dinner.
We'll take you to the Ren Fair.
We'll take you to the Renaissance Fair.
Yay! We'll sing some motets. Oh,
I love it.
We have a parody of a Renaissance motet. April sat on my master's face.
Beautiful.
That is probably the oldest song. Well, it's older than Dragapella Chorus. It's an old song. Mm-hmm. What album is that on, Trampolina?
That one would be on Boys to Girls.
Okay.
Got it.
I'm gonna double check now because now I'm uncertain. Now that you've tested me.
Well,
she
the folks
said it
at
with
home
the
watching can also
like,
double check at kinsey6.com/music and browse all of our
It's on Boys to Girls.
And on Boys to Girls.
I was right.
Okay.
What was that from David Warden?
Yes.
Did they say www.kinsey6.com?
You betcha, David.
You mean that one right there?
Yep.
He also asked, what have been Republican fans' reactions to your political material? And I love that question.
Ooh.
Who cares?
Who cares? When we hear from them, we'll let you know.
Although when we're we're a big hit in places like oh, what's that tiny ass town? Was it Fort Scott, Kansas? That we've played a few
There
times.
is a Fort Scott, but yes.
Is that where that
And
we've played there? Yeah, and we've sold the place out, and it's like, you know, biker folks and what have you, people, you know, kind of from central casting Republicans, and they loved the show. The show was sold out. They even let Rachel sit on one of the big biker boys, and it was a hoot. I mean, you know, some will get their panties in a bunch, you know, and what have you. So,
Watching the pearls.
I know.
It's always fun. It's one of the things I like about, actually, it's one of the things I like most about drag is that putting this on, these are our superhero costumes. This is what gives us the opportunity to express our points of view through another outlet. So, you know, being able to go to a lot of conservative places, they take it, a lot of people receive it very well because they're actually understanding the message behind all of it. So yeah.
Well, and usually in those areas, I can only imagine that those are the people who need to hear it.
Yes. Yeah.
Especially an area where queer voices are not welcome voices. They need that outlet.
You know, we just happened to have 4 years ago, we had 2 shows that were scheduled immediately after the election in 2016. One was in Boise, Idaho, and one was in Whitefish, Montana. And they were literally like the day after the election, where we were all just in shock and, you know, hurting and thinking what the fuck's going to happen. And those audiences were so amazing and so warm and so welcoming. I mean, they needed that, and we needed that as much as they did too. I mean, we delivered a solid show, but you know, it was just as therapeutic for us to have that, you know, to be able to teach the chorus new songs, because you can say you know, it's people who are going to hear your song, who are going to, you know, you're preaching to the choir when there are a bunch of people who are, you know, beleaguered liberals or disenfranchised liberals in different places. But yeah, the choir can learn new songs, and we're happy to be there and do that. And it was so rewarding. And it sort of reminded us of what and why it is we do what we do.
Yeah, I love that.
What I was gonna say, like, I hope this isn't hurtful, but I feel like with drag, it's the closest you can become. It's the closest you can come to being a cartoon as a human being. And cartoons, you can say anything on there. You can say something.
Yeah, you can get away with murder as a drag queen.
It's okay because it's a cartoon. And
yeah.
We got a good question here, and something I want to know from Robin Thompson. How did the name Kinsey 6 come about?
Yes.
Well, originally the group was floating the idea to be called Dragapella, and in an age of social media, I think the original founders sometimes regret not calling it Dragapella because that would be easier to find. But Kinsey 6 is a play on the Kinsey scale that Dr. Alfred Kinsey developed in the 1940s or 50s, around that time frame.
A long time.
That basically a scale from 0 to 6 that said you fall somewhere on this spectrum. 6 identifying as, well, 0 identifying as exclusively heterosexual, and 6 being a perfect score.
Perfect score.
So the name is a play on that, and it's spelled SICKS because of, well, we have a sixth sense of humor. But you know, when we say the name of the group to people and they see us, like when we're on the streets, like in P-Town, they'll be like, "Why aren't there 6 of you?" And it's like, "Oh, just come to the show. Ask your questions after."
Give us your money.
But yeah, no,
please write all questions on a $20 bill.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great question because I do love the group's name, and it's great. It's great to remind people of where the roots come from, of not just our group, but the history from the 1940s, 50s up until today.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that it makes people who don't know might want to go and research now.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, the Kinsey Scale, the one place I got a perfect score.
It drives me nuts that it doesn't go to 10.
Right.
It should be metric.
The Kinsey Scale isn't metric. Yeah, that's
It's weird. Like it goes to 6. Like why 6? It should go to 10.
Well, here's the fun thing, Katie. It's also fluid, so you know you could be a 4 one day and a 5 the next day.
There's other genders.
During the pandemic, I'm all up and down this scale.
Oh, I'll go up and down your scale.
Or up and down something, that's for sure.
She's a married woman now. She doesn't remember what that is.
Well, that's her problem. Bless your heart. Good for you. You're married. How about that? What's that like?
It's great.
Or Winnie's stuck in that cabin.
I know. Well, Jade, are you married, honey? You keep referring to this. Is it your husband? You're married?
Actually, this week we celebrated 6 years of marriage.
Mazel tov. Wow.
Congratulations.
He's pretty amazing. He's my biggest fan. I love him.
Good. That's exciting. That's nice. That's gorgeous.
Yeah. He's also into cars and I'm not, so he's dealing with that now.
It's important to have your hobbies.
True.
It is.
How about either of you?
No,
I'm not
single.
married to your. I'm not married to your husband.
I'm not married to him either.
Just wanted to make sure.
With rent fair, we got to check sometimes.
It's true. Fantastic comment from Hollis Taylor, also known as Izzy a He, one of my darling drag children. The wedding was a blast. Thank you.
Oh.
Hollis is an amazing drag performer who did point out, I have to say something, drag queens are awesome, but how come drag kings are always forgotten?
I'll tell you why, Hollis. Misogyny. That's why. People are more than happy to see a man, play in femme spaces, but for some reason people get all hot and bothered about women doing drag king stuff. I love drag kings. I think they're fabulous. They're hot.
To answer your question personally, I don't think they're forgotten. I work with some fabulous drag kings, and I think the drag king scene is getting more visible.
Absolutely.
Than it has. It's always been there, and it stems back to burlesque. A lot of burlesque artists will do the gender switching roles, which is so fabulous to watch. But
absolutely,
like Landon Sider, who just won Dragula, I think last year or something. So hot, by the way.
Yeah, that werewolf outfit.
I know, hubba. Yeah.
Well, and
yes, I think you're right. You're right, Trampolina. It's not a matter of forgotten. There's a visibility issue.
There's a visibility issue. Yeah.
And luckily, I just read that RuPaul's Drag Race has decided, yes, we are going to have trans performers. Yes, we are going to start having drag kings. I'm like, better late than never.
I've always had trans performers. They've just treated them like shit. So
that's true.
Maybe World of Wonder is just going to be respecting them now. So that's a nice change of tone.
Yeah.
Yes. And is it too little, too late? Maybe, but at least it's happening, and we're going to support those fabulous kings and non-binary performers.
Absolutely.
And trans performers, because they make the world go round.
Yes. That's exciting.
Agreed.
Yep.
They make the world go to 6.
And that's why I brought her onto the show.
You're right there with the little zings. I love it, Katie.
Katie's here to make my jokes make sense.
Perfect.
That too. Well, and when I haven't been talking much because you guys have been like so insanely interesting that I'm just gonna take a nap. I'll be back.
Where's your cat? Where did your cat go?
O'Malley, you've been requested, and he buggered off.
I mean, summon him, Duchess. Summon the cats. Can't you be a Duchess of Cats and summon cats or something?
He's a cat though.
I know.
As much as I want to be
Freya,
Freya,
that new cat thing where you smile by closing your eyes halfway. it's like less is more. You know, you look away and do that. You know, that's the whole cat smiling thing people are nuts about. Slow blinks.
Yeah, slow blinks to me is just.
Well, yeah. So just get high, and then you're fine, and don't smile at the cat. So.
Yeah, I want to be Freya. I want to have my sleigh just driven by cats and just cha. But yeah, no, it's having. I love cats and I know what they're like and have it not happen.
Yeah, they're just adorable assholes.
Yeah.
True. Well, I do have one more thing that I wanted to bring up, and it's something fantastic. Speaking of the Kinsey legacy, we have gone over our time, but I'm not bothered by it. And that is, I wanted to send a congratulations to Kevin Smith Kirkwood, who was the second Trixie. Fabulous picture right there. Who just was named to the board of directors of the National Queer Theater of New York City.
Yes, he was. And Kevin, Kevin is just, I love Kevin. Kevin's a fabulous performer. Kevin just finished his run on Kinky Boots. He was in the Broadway run of Kinky Boots, I think, for its entirety. Was that right? Is that right, Trampolina?
Somebody poke Trampolina.
Say for his entirety.
I think wasn't Kevin in Kinky Boots?
What do you mean his
entire run?
Yeah, he was even in the tryouts in Chicago.
Yeah. Okay. So
before
so Kevin successfully closed Kinky Boots recently, which is amazing. He's also done his one woman Whitney Houston shows. I had an hysterical interaction with him recently where he was actually lip syncing some Whitney and he just couldn't help himself. That the song modulated. There's that word again, Katie. And he just belted out in song, and I'm like, there she is. And he's now directing. He's advising and advising the next generation. And the executive director of the National Queer Theater is a friend of mine as well from San Francisco. So I think they're in good hands with Kevin.
That's amazing.
I have to say, Bill asked a question that I do want to answer because it's one that the group has talked about. Will the Kinsey Six be doing any virtual shows? So largely no, because we can't do 4-part harmony on camera with spaced out across the country with various internet connections and internet speeds. We've thought every single possible way of making it, but it just won't work. So that's why we actually worked on all of the music videos and now the album. And I think I can announce this, right, Winnie, that we're going to have. Okay. So on the release day of the album on Tuesday, October 27th, the girls, the entire Kinsey Six quartet is going to do a virtual release party. And so all 4 of us will be on camera live, and we will do we'll shoot the shit, we'll gab, and we'll reminisce about life on the road. And then
we're actually not going to say anything. It's just going to be us sitting there, and we're going to play the album, and we're just going to listen to it.
And just judge each other. Yeah, we're going to just judge each other's performance.
So that's all it's going to be, Bill. So you're going to look at us and listen to our music the whole time. It's a cheap way. It's a free way to listen to the whole damn album. But that's what we're gonna do. No, really, we might show a couple videos, but we're gonna quack and we're gonna gab, and
it's gonna be fun. It'll be fun, and it'll be along the lines of tonight. It's been a hoot. Yeah, I've really enjoyed this.
This has been a lot of fun. Thank you both so much. Thank all 3 of you. Katie, thank you for stepping in and helping me out. You are all amazing. I will be watching because that's going to be incredible. As we're winding down, Katie, do you have any last words for the audience?
Well, I want to thank the ladies of Kinsey Six for joining us. You have a lifelong fan stalker right here.
I'll see you at the grocery store next week, Katie. Okay.
And to the audience, all I can say is, like last time I was on here, all I could think to say was vote. This time I will modulate that. Vote Biden. Vote.
There you go.
Biden. Like yes, I of course I want you to vote. I want you to fill out the ballot or go in person or do whatever you have to do. But like, I would love for us to not have a two-party system. I would love that. I think like a two-party system does not serve modern times. It doesn't serve our country. Like, we're in a very personalized time with, you can personalize anything in your life, but we still have a two-party system. And I think it's very silly. However, we will fix that next time. Because right now we cannot afford to split the vote. We cannot afford 4 more years of. There are no adjectives. There are no nouns. There is nothing that I can say now to properly sum up my feelings. And I'm pretty good at communicating, I thought. But just get out and vote for Biden. We need a blue wave to wash away the orange shit.
Here.
And it can't take away his supporters. Like, that is the other horrifying thing, is it's not just him, it's the terrible underbelly that is exposed, that is our neighbors and family members. And just, why can you think that's okay to say that? But we come together and we build, and we do what we can. We do everything we can. Vote.
Here.
And I love it when everybody comes together.
Right now.
Agreed.
Over me.
Clean up easier.
Winnie, do you have any last words for everyone?
I don't. Thank you for having us, though. This was a blast. Thank you for all the folks who watched tonight. I hope we have made some new fans. I hope that we've brought some new people to your show as well, Jade, because you have a wonderful library of folks that you have on your show that I think more people need to see. And that's exciting. And of course, vote. We have 3 weeks, folks. And then we get down to actual work we need to be doing and not be so distracted by the bullshit that our tyrant is putting us through. But yeah, we vote and we get down to work and we keep going with it. And buy our new album. Share our videos if you love us. Feel free to send us cash. Include us in your estates and wills. And thank you.
Amazing. Trampolina?
Gosh, I feel like Winnie covered it. The voting is very important, but just as important is supporting your local entertainers that are struggling to get through all of this. And I so appreciate you having us on tonight. And be sure to check out Quarantunes. If there were questions we didn't get to tonight and people want to ask us questions, that try to join us on the 27th for our virtual release party. And then we won't answer them there either.
Right. So like the Kinsey 6 on our like the Kinsey 6 page for sure, and we'll be making an event for that. So hopefully the Facebook algorithms will get the event to you. So
I will share it on Inside the Drag Closet for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Too. Also, you can be friends with Winnie with Trampolina and Winnie on Facebook too. So.
I'm gonna.
So be friends.
I want to thank you again. I have said thank you like 37 times.
You can't say thank you enough. We can't say thank you or I love you too much, my dear. So thank you and I love you.
Thank you. I would love to have both and or either of you. Invite goes out to Trixie and Angel and even Rachel if she wants to make an appearance as well. I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle that, but game on.
I'm gonna be in the comments.
But I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. This has been such a fun show. Go out, support the Kinsey 6. Go out and vote. Pre-order Quarantunes. I'm super excited to listen to it. Order all of their music. You will not be disappointed. Make sure you tune in.
Or you will. You might be disappointed, but no refunds.
Yeah.
There you go. They already have your money. So I did it that way because a lot of my followers are British for some reason.
Huh? How about that?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I'm not arguing it. Just book me out.
Good. We're a big hit over there too, folks. We love the UK.
Yeah,
they get the UK and Canadians get our humor more than most Americans because they know our politics better than most Americans do. So go figure.
How's that for a symbol of the United States?
Yeah,
right
how
now?
about that? How about that?
But like I said, next week we are going to have Scarlet Overkill's Halloween birthday party, so make sure you tune in for that. But it is time to say goodnight, kids.
Good night, kids.
Good night, kids. There we go.
Thank you for joining us here at Inside the Drag Closet with Jade and her fabulous team and special guests. See you next Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on WLFE-TV.com.